for tonight. Let's keep it informal. So if you have a question, feel free to ask me while we're on that screen. And Rhonda, since when I'm presenting, I'm not going to be able to see the chats, since I've just got the one screen. So if there's anything in chat that I need to be aware of, just feel free to chime in and let me know.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will share my screen. Okay, can people see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So what we're going to do is going to go over some slides quickly and then go into a live demo. But I do have slides with screenshots, so if you wanted to see after the fact, it's here for you. So tonight we're talking about the reports that are available to you as members of Toastmasters that will help you be more effective in your leadership role. As we mentioned before, this meeting is being recorded. It might be posted on various online platforms afterwards. If you don't wish to be recorded, please keep your camera off. And if you don't want your name to be shown, please change your name to first name and last initial, or just initials. A few years ago, the District 38 website was redesigned, and the redesign had a lot of improvements to it. One of the things that it did is it made reporting available right on the District 38 website. So there's a couple of places you can go. First thing you want to do, especially this time of year, is under officer training. You can select club officers trained, and that will show you how many officers in your club have been trained and which officers those are. Now I will tell you it's not an instantaneous update, so don't go on the website at 8:30 tonight and wonder why your name is not listed as completed training. So it takes a little while for it to get updated. Another place you can get reports is under the TI links. You can come down to daily Toastmaster reports to get one set of reports, and you can also come down under performance reports and click club, and that'll give you different reports. And I'll show you that in detail as we get there. So here's an example of the District 38 training dashboard as of a day or two ago. So as an example, Lancaster Toastmasters has one officer trained, and it was the VP membership. Central Penn has 2 trained. It was the VP membership and the Sergeant at Arms. I would suggest you check this frequently and early. What you don't want to do, and I've seen this happen in other clubs, is the club president thinks that 4 people went to training because 4 officers at the officer meeting said they were trained, and then realize on August 28th that you've only got 3 officers trained and 1 person that went to half of the training. And then you're scrambling at the last minute to try to get that last person trained. So I would suggest checking this on a weekly basis. And if you have an officer who went to training more than a week prior that you don't see here, please reach out to Rhonda. I'll ask you, Rhonda, are you the right person to reach out to for that?
Yes.
Okay. The next report is a TI reports dashboard, and the link is right here. You'll notice at the end it says ID equals 0006280. What that is that's actually the report for club 6280, which happens to be my club, our Toastmasters voice. And you'll see there's multiple tabs up here, and I'll show you in the live demo in more detail. But when you come to it, there's 3 reports under performance: district, which brings you to the first tab; division and area, which brings you to the second, club, which brings you to the third. And if you type in a club number here and hit search, it'll create the club status tab and show you the status for that one club. If your concern is just your own club, this tab is all you really need. But if you're interested to see how the rest of the clubs in the district are doing, you can look at the other 3 tabs. As I mentioned before, there was an option on the District 38 website to select daily Toastmaster reports. If you select that, you'll get something like you see on the left. Each of these red things are buttons that will open up another report. So as an example, one report that got a lot of interest last month was the April dues renewal status, and it tells you when each club has been verified as submitting their April dues on time. The other report that you're probably going to use very frequently is Educational Achievements Current Year. And as you can see, this generates a list of all of the awards for everybody in our district. You can also click on this button to get the educational archive. So as an example, if you're wondering how many DTMs did a given club earn 3 years ago, you can go there and find that out. Another report we have is what's referred to as the Mike Rafferty reports. These are not officially Toastmaster reports, but Mike uses Toastmasters data to generate them, similar to the way I use Toastmasters data to generate other reports. So when you come here, you would select District 38. A lot of these aren't probably all that interesting to you, but the first one is, the first one will let you put in a club or an area or division or district, and you get a nice history of where your club has been. So as an example, this is my club, and it has the history going back to 2004, 2005 of how many members we had, how many CCs, ACs we got, for those of you that are old enough to remember such things. And then how many goals we achieved under the Pathways program. And then also the other 4 goals, the membership, the training, and the paperwork points. And it tells you whether you're distinguished or not. Another number here that I think is very interesting is the retention. And what this number is of all the people that either started out the year in your club or joined during the year, what percentage of them renewed? So as an example, if you had 15 members at the beginning of the year and you added 5 more, that means 20 people were part of your club this year. If you end the year at 18, then your retention is 90%. And to my way of thinking, retention is possibly the most important number that indicates club success. Because if you have 2 clubs and one of them has a retention rate of 60% and one of them has a retention rate of 90%, in all likelihood, which club is doing a better job of meeting its members' needs? And the last report that I will show you is a Pathways report. This is available through Basecamp Manager only, which means to view it, you need to be a Basecamp Manager. In other words, president, VPE, or secretary. And to get that, you would go to Basecamp. You would go to Pathways, click on Login as Basecamp Manager. And again, if you're not Basecamp Manager, you won't have this button. Then you would click on Member Progress. Then you would see something that looks like this. You would refresh it. You would click down here, select Refresh, and then you would select Export to Excel. And that gives you a nice list in Excel of, for all of your members, for each project within Pathways, did they complete it or are they in progress? And if they haven't even started, it won't show up here. So this is very useful from a VPE perspective as you're trying to figure out, okay, Fred said he was going to get his level 3 this year. We're 6 months into the year. Which ones has he completed? Now, it's all good, well and good that Fred tells you, oh, I've got 3 of them done. I'm doing my last one this week. But it's always nice to be able to go in and check it yourself. The other advantage of this, which is a really important thing, is as VPEs, I would suggest you go in probably once a month and check that this list matches what you believe is true based on who spoke at which meeting. So as an example, if Fred gave a speech a month ago and that speech doesn't show up here, you should circle back to Fred and ask, Fred, did you go through all of the steps to get credit for that speech in Pathways? Because I found a lot of the time, well, I should say a lot, at least in some cases, people give the speeches, but due to some confusion in Pathways, they don't always click through, so it doesn't show up here. Okay, so now we're going to go into a live demo. And I will share that screen now. Okay, so here's an example of the club officers trained. You click on the link I showed you before. And you can see where you are. If you want to find your club easily, you can search for it. So in my case, it's our Toastmasters voice. I know it would help if I could spell. And we have not had anybody trained yet. Next thing I want to show you is under TI links. Let's go to performance reports, club. Now, this tells you where every club in the district is with respect to the DCP program. Unfortunately, notice what I'm highlighting. They are still doing year-end processing. So unfortunately, at the end of each month, TI does month-end processing. So what that means is if you put in someone's level 3 completion and submit as an award on Club Central on September 2nd, and you go in to look here on September 4th, you will not see it. At the end of each month, it takes roughly 10 days for TI to finish monthly processing. So if you submit an award on September 2nd, it won't show up here until about September 10th to 15th, depending on which month it is. And at year end, it takes about a month for TI to finish year end processing. And my guess is this year, due to the website upgrade, it's going to take a little longer. So we're a few days from the end of the month. My guess is this probably won't be final until sometime the first week of August. So again, if you want to look at a given club, let's go look at my club again. And this time I'll search for it by number because I know that. And you'll see we had a base of 20. We started out at 15, even though we netted 7 DCP points due to membership. We did not end the year as distinguished. And you can also see this for any club in the district. You can search by division. Also, if you're interested in a given division, what you can do is you can collapse everything. And then let's say, for argument's sake, I'm interested in Division F. I can click on this greater than sign here, and it shows me Division F only. And say if I was only interested in Area 62, I could hide those, and now it's easy to find Area 62. Look at the other ones. So the division and area performance tells which clubs are distinguished, and as well as that which areas are distinguished and divisions are distinguished. So this year, out of 8 divisions, none were distinguished. Out of 40 areas, 5 were distinguished and another 3 were select distinguished. So a total of 8 were some level of distinguished. And from a club perspective, there's 145 clubs, of which 7 were distinguished, 13 were select, and 31 were presidents. And if you'll notice, you have little D's and S's and P's on the left side here to tell you which one it is. So this will also tell you whether you've met your renewals, whether your area director has completed their club visit. And by completed, I mean they attended your club and they submitted the report, and it gives you the membership. If you want to look at the picture from the district perspective, tells you how many paid clubs we have, how many membership payments there are year to date, and how many clubs were distinguished. Also, it gives you details of membership payments, number late, the fall ones, the spring ones, and then new and charter, and the total. So if I wanted to find just my club, I could do 6280 and hit search. And now it'll go to the club status tab, and it tells me everything I need to know about my club. So here's our name, here's our number, here's our membership numbers, DCP goals, where we reside in Toastmasters. So we're all obviously Region 7, which includes the districts on the East Coast, primarily on the East Coast of the United States, from Jersey down to South Carolina. And we're District 38, and my club happens to be in area D43. So this tells me we needed 4 level 1s to get our goal. We got 3, so we didn't get that. We were 1 level 1 short. We're also 2 level 2 short and 4 new members short. So those were the 3 DCP goals we did not meet. If a club is distinguished, you see a line under this that says the level of distinguishedness. So if we had gotten 5 more members, you would have seen select distinguished club right on the next line here. The other thing I'll mention is once you're at this point, you can also click on daily reports, but I'll show you another way to get to daily reports. Either way works the same. Actually, I'll show you. So this is daily reports on the TI website. This is the April and October dues renewal, sponsors and mentors, current year educational achievements, etc. So if I click on current achievements for this year, and because TI has not finished processing for 2021, 2022, this is 2022, this is for that year. One of the nice things about this report is it's sortable. So say for argument's sake, I wanted to see who got their DTM this year. I could click on award, which is sorted alphabetically. And I can do a search on DTM. And there are 3, you can see there are 3 people that got their DTM this year. You can also, another popular sort is by club name or by area or by date. So if I click on the date, it sorts it last name first. One thing about the sorts here is kind of odd, is that if you click on this to sort it, the default sort direction is in reverse order. So you'll notice in the previous one, DTM was at the bottom. Here, the dates started June 30th. If I clicked on it again, it would change the order. So now it's sorted front to back. So whatever is best for you. Next thing we'll look at is the daily Toastmaster reports. And this is actually still on the District 38 website, but it has the same links to the same things that we looked at from the other location. Just the look and feel of this page is a little different. Another tab is somewhat interesting is prospective clubs. You can see which clubs are trying to charter. Club coaches is also another interesting one. So you can see which club coaches are currently in progress. So now let's look at the daily reports. Okay, yes, I'm sorry, we looked at that. So the next thing I'll mention is the Rafferty reports. Yes, under district leader, you can go down to performance reports. Click on Mike Rafferty reports. And one nice thing about the TI website is you can see reports for any club in any district throughout TI. So if you're interested in, if you're a member of a club up in District 83 and you're wondering how that club is doing, same thing. So let's look at District 38. Club and area performance reports. And this is a history of where my club has been since 2004, 2005. So almost 20 years of data. Now, the last thing we'll look at is pathways reports. So you have to log in using your email address or your member ID. You would select pathways, go to Basecamp. I knew it was going to time out on me. Did anybody else hearing the Jeopardy theme in their heads? So you come to your pathways, you'll log in as Basecamp manager. So, since this is not my computer, I'm just going to show you some screenshots. So as I mentioned before, you would come in, get into Basecamp. You would click on Member Progress, which would bring up this page. There are several different reports you can get in here, but the one that's really useful is an individual progress from the, actually, let me, yeah. So you click on Member Progress, you get a report that looks like this up. You want to do refresh because this report is not current. If you haven't refreshed it in 2 months and you come back in, it'll still show data that's 2 months old. So whenever you come in, you want to refresh it, and then you want to do export to Excel. And when you get it, you have to scroll down about 20 rows, and then you'll see something that looks like this. Sorry about that. And it'll tell you each of your members, what's the project name, what's the path they're working on. And the path is important because if you notice, Mary did her icebreaker for the dynamic leadership path, and then a few months later, she did the icebreaker for her presentation mastery path. And as you can see, all 3 for dynamic leadership have been completed, and only the icebreaker has been completed for presentation mastery. The other 2 are still in progress. And you'll notice up here it says level 1 projects in process. When you do the export to Excel, you have to export each one. So on the screen below this, so there would be level 2 to the right of this, there'd be level 3 underneath it, level 4 under level 2, and then level 5 under level 3. So you only have to do the refresh once, but you'd have to do the export to Excel once for each level. I'm hoping that at some point they'll give you the option to export them all, but right now it's just, you have to do them individually. And that is Toastmaster reports. Are there